Hey everyone, today I'm coming to you with a review on the brand new Star Wars The Black Series, Darth Vader from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. He is a part of course, the Obi-Wan Kenobi line. He is number 2 in the line, right after Obi-Wan, but right before Reva. And he is a pretty good Darth Vader figure if you do not have a Darth Vader. I, however, am a little bit underwhelmed with this. I was expecting a lot more from this Vader when we heard that they were obviously doing a Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader. But we'll get into that in the review, which, speaking of, let's get into it. So, besides Vader and his lightsaber, the only other thing included is the box. Now, I did get this guy from tftoys.ca. I did get it in their store in New Horizon Mall in Calgary. I paid $39.99, but they do sell them online, and I do believe they still have them available. That is a Canadian price, but you can see Obi-Wan Kenobi there. You can see the beautiful image, which just, in my opinion, looks so much better than the actual figure. And then his bio reads Darth Vader, and I'm not even going to read it because it's the same as all the other Kenobi figures so far. So awesome, epic, but that is his box. Now, the Vader figure himself is, subjectively, looks badass and cool. Darth Vader, awesome, sick, cool. But when you take a deeper dive at what the figure actually is, it kind of does start to underwhelm me, and I know a lot of you are also underwhelmed by this figure. Let's do a quick history lesson. So this is our 2022 Darth Vader figure, and this right here is our 2017 40 Years of A New Hope Darth Vader. These figures are almost identical in their molds. I'm going to just remove his lightsaber quick. You can see that the arms are the exact same mold, very similar paint. The only main difference I see is that this is over the armor while this one is under it. Now, I'm trying to see, and I don't understand, or I don't know if that's the word, but I don't know if these are the same head or if they're different. I think they're the same head. I know some people have been saying it's a different head, but I don't understand why that would be a different head if this is A New Hope and this is kind of right before A New Hope. Well, not right before A New Hope, but, you know, it's before Empire Strikes Back, way before then, where he gets a complete different helmet, which is basically this one, which this, in my opinion, is the best Darth Vader figure I own, and one of the best that's out there. This is the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader. Now, obviously, you do have to acknowledge that these are based off different kind of designs, even though it is Darth Vader. This one, in my opinion, is so much more posable. It has butterfly joints in there, which, you know, granted aren't the best, but it's still butterfly joints, and the head is on a ball joint, which is just so much movement compared to the Obi-Wan one, which that's the amount of movement you get on it. It's on this big, massive, you can see it, I'm not going to take it off, but you can see it's this massive just ball joint there, which really is kind of old-fashioned for at least 2022 when we get these insane style of joints in our, you know, figures like Reva, for example. But, you know, it's a good figure. Like, I want to make that clear. If you don't have a Vader, and I know a lot of people who collect Black Series right now are new collectors, a lot of people are getting into it, and this is perfect. You will be completely fine and satisfied with this figure. There is almost nothing really inherently wrong with it, but if you have the Empire Strikes Back one and you love it and you want to get a better Vader and you get this, you're not going to find that it's a better Vader because it's just not. Let's be honest. It's a good figure. It's a great, you know, I'm not going to say it's a good figure. I think it's a great figure. There's nothing really bad with it. It's just, I feel like it's kind of lazy because they definitely could have done a new helmet mold. Obviously, asking for the damaged head is kind of too early. I think that's something that'll come out in maybe a year from now, and then maybe we'll get a new Vader. But I do think we are going to get one next year with the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, because we've got one for A New Hope, and for Empire Strikes Back would only make sense for the final movie of the trilogy. But, you know, I don't really have anything obviously bad to say about the figure itself. It's a Darth Vader figure. It looks good. It gets the main things that it needs to get across, but I just am disappointed at it because I was hoping that we would get a figure better than the Empire Strikes Back, and in reality, we got one that's definitely a few tiers lower. I mean, in my opinion, it's better than this one, but this isn't, like, it's not that much of a difference. I think that these going over was kind of odd. I mean, it made sense, I guess, for the release that it was in, but I do think that this looks better and is more accurate. And I don't know, I find that helmet is looking very toyish and not that intimidating. But when you look at this one, whew, look at that. That is Darth Vader at his prime, looking good. He has different buttons, he has some different things. I'm basically just doing the comparisons right here, but, you know, you kind of see what I mean about this figure. There isn't really that much to talk about. There is lots of detail. The sculpt is old, granted, but it still is very good for Black Series. It's one of the better old sculpts that they have. But the arms have no butterfly joints, obviously. And the cape is very big, which honestly people do complain about. I think, look at this. Look at this Batman cape. I want to see how big I can get it. That is insane. That is like a 12-inch gap right there. But his cape is awesome, and I like that it's on because you can, it's one of the better things about this figure. It's this awesome cape. You can kind of hide some elements of it that maybe you don't like. You can get some really cool poses with it. And if you don't have a Vader figure, you're going to love this. This is going to be great for you. But if you do have a little bit more money and you want to buy and invest in the perfect Vader, this one is slightly more expensive now, but I would definitely pay whatever the extra $10, $20, $30 for this figure, because I think it's worth it way more. Just way more modern. Obviously, it's not that much more modern. It does reuse some parts of this figure, but it does have those butterfly joints, that brand new head articulation, the brand new head sculpt, and then just something about the paint apps on it looks a lot better compared to the old one. This one, I feel like they did it better, but I mean, it's not that it's that different. I don't know. I'm just, when you get these Vader figures, you kind of have to be picky because the differences are very minute. But if you do want to be getting the best Vader, you do have to look at those very tiny differences to kind of get an overall understanding of which one is the best. And in my opinion, this one is, and this one is a close second. But not a bad figure. I want to make that very clear. Not a bad figure for your only Black Series Darth Vader. Just not as good as this one. So I've been talking about him for too long. Let's get into his articulation. Or lack thereof. Actually, that's a lie. It's pretty good. So his articulation is, it's articulation, so the head does not go up. It does go down a little bit aside, and it goes full 360, and that's about it. And it's the movement you get. And then let's look at this one. Oh my goodness, look at this, oh my god. It's insane movement. Another thing that you're going to want to keep in mind, at least with the oldest one that I have, the 2017 one, I think you can kind of see here, that is a very thin connecting the cape. So do be careful, please, or else you will kind of wreck your figure, and it'll be kind of hard to fix that. So it's a very small piece of fabric connecting the two sides of the cape, and if that snaps, then the cape kind of won't hold. I'm sure it'll smush under the helmet, but it'll be fine if you just, you know, be careful. So just keep that in mind. The arms go out that much. They go full 360. The elbows go in about 90, but a little less, I'd say. They also do rotate, no swivel at the right here. This hand goes up, down, full 360 on the horizontal hinge, and this one is also the horizontal hinge, so up, down, full 360 with the lightsaber. And then his ab crunch does not go down that much, does not go back that much, doesn't go to the side, and you can go full 360. I'm not gonna do it because I am particular about my figures here at the Jagger Collector channel, but what I'm trying to say is this fabric up here is connected to this, so when you want to go full 360, it just creates a whole problem and you could wreck the fabric. So just, you know, be careful with this figure. The legs kick forward that much, they go back, they go to the side. There's an upper thigh cut, double jointed knees with those pegs because they're old, or why am I pinless? It's not pinless. It's you can still see the pins, so it's definitely old because of that. The feet go up that much, they go down, and he does have ankle rocker pivot, but articulation not that bad. I am noticing though that if they did do a Empire Strikes or a Return of the Jedi one, they should add this articulation to this Vader. Do different legs and have it just be the new single joint, but make it go in more. I think that'd be pretty cool to see. Just, you know, little tiny things to add to the Vaders to eventually get the perfect Darth Vader figure. But that is all for the articulation. Let's get on to some comparisons. Now for the comparisons, I'm going to put his lightsaber on his belt, which you can do. I didn't mention that already, but you can hook it. It is a little bit hard at points, but if you get it right and maybe have his arm kind of holding it down, then it looks pretty good. And then this blade, this is good. I know in the Inquisitors ones I said they weren't good blades at the ends because they're very wiggly, but this is a very for lack of a better term, thick end of a blade, let's just say. There you go. Let's put our Vader right here. Let's get him looking good for his comparisons. Okay, so obviously the first one that I'm going to want to do is with the Empire Strikes Back one, the superior Darth Vader figure. So you can see some similarities and differences. I do like that helmet so much more, like way more. Not even a competition. And then here we have the prehistoric 40th anniversary Darth Vader of A New Hope. 40th anniversary of A New Hope Darth Vader. So there's our Darth Vaders. And then I just got this guy this week, which I will have a review of him coming up soon. But I did manage to get the new Infinities. I think that's what it's called. Infinities Darth Vader. Yeah. But this is an awesome figure because it's on this body. So there you can see all of our Vaders. Vader party, yeah. But let's get those guys out. And then obviously we're going to want to do Reva from Obi-Wan, who he absolutely completely destroys. Well, not really, because I guess Reva just can't get stabbed and die. I guess she's the one exception for that in Star Wars, which is cool. But those two do look very good together. And then obviously the other one is the only 3 Kenobi figures I have so far. I did hear that Tika is hitting stores, Toys R Us in Canada, so I will probably get him soon. But we will see. There you can see the 5th brother. So that's our Kenobi figures looking pretty good. And one thing I did want to show is you can have him hold Reva's saber like he does in the show. And then you can have him hold his lightsaber in his other hand. And let's put the blade in. And boom. That does look pretty sick. So like I said, it's not a bad Vader figure. It's just, I was expecting a lot more after getting that absolutely amazing Empire Strikes Back Vader, but you know what? Here we are. Then I do not have the Obi-Wan Kenobi Obi-Wan yet because that one was sold out at the store, but I do have this kind of custom one. I mean, it's not a custom, it just has the Attack of the Clones body and a cloak from some figure that looks good on it. I think this is from the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan, the cloak, but these two do look pretty good together and is a good stand-in for now. And then obviously, I'm going to want to compare him next to just a normal Imperial Stormtrooper, which, there you go, looking pretty good. Voila. And then maybe let's do, there we have a Imperial TIE Pilot. And what else do I have at my table of comparisons? Kind of just grab stuff here. I guess this will be good for some of you. Here's the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. But other than that, I think that's all of the comparisons that I kind of want to do with him, that I can think of at least. I'm trying to look around here, trying to see, but no, I can't see any. So, oh, maybe this one. Maybe this is a good one. Ahsoka, Master, and Padawan. So those two look good together. But that is the comparisons for the Obi-Wan Vader. Let's get on to my final thoughts. So as I mentioned throughout this video numerous times, is that this is not a bad figure, it's just underwhelming for me. I think this will get your fix of a action figure or Black Series Darth Vader in your collection. I think it'll completely, fill that hole in your collection if you don't have him. But I do think that if you want to wait out or maybe spend a little bit more money and get the best Vader that you possibly can for Black Series, I would go out and get this Empire Strikes Back one. Or, you know what, get both. Put this one on the Empire Strikes Back shelf, put this one on the Obi-Wan, whatever, New Hope shelf, any other shelf. It's good to get all these Vaders, especially when I have shelves, because I can put one on each shelf. So, it's good in that aspect. But like I said, it's a pretty good figure. It is underwhelming, however, and I do think you should get the Empire Strikes Back one. So that's essentially my review on the figure. A little bit old articulation, a little bit old design, but it does, I guess, get the point across for Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Vader. But I do want to know what you think of this figure in the comments below. Do please start a conversation. I want to hear all your thoughts on him in the comments below. Are you going to pick him up? What do you think of him? Am I being too harsh? Am I being too gentle on this figure? Did Hasbro really cheap out? Did they do an okay job? Tell me in the comments below. I think I'm going to give this guy a rating of 7.5 out of 10. Not bad, but not great. And as always, I will see you in my next video, which we have no idea what that will be because I have it's too many action figures to review, and I got to get on that. So without further ado, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to start filming. So until then, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Bye, guys.